Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Game Aim Plus, where my aiming is gaming. I'm your host, the boy G, and we gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. Alright, in this video, we are gonna talk about PlayStation underestimating Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch 2 and the future of Nintendo and the Switches. Alright, PlayStation, you sleeping on the Switch 2 and what it can do will be your downfall. Alright? Listen to me. Okay? Yes, the Nintendo Switch 2, its graphics still is not as good as the PlayStation 5 Pro. And it won't be as good as the PlayStation 6. We get that. But the fact that you guys keep sleeping on the Switch 2 and not taking it seriously or see it as competition will ruin you in the future. Alright? Now listen to me, alright? The one guy that used to work for Sony PlayStation, alright, of something Yoshida, don't really care. I just care about your last name, Yoshida, and the fact that the first half of your last name, Yoshida, Yoshi, is a Nintendo character, which is, I find that very hilarious. Yes, Mr. Yoshida. He used to work for PlayStation, alright, for about 11 years. Okay, so he knows the in and outs of PlayStation and Sony and everything of what it does and what they've said and what they think of Nintendo and everything. Alright? He just did an interview not too long ago on the Kid and Krista, podcast show, whatever they have on YouTube. I follow them, they're really cool. And mind you, Kid and Krista used to work for Nintendo for 10 years. And then, they left Nintendo and went on their separate ways together, and made their own YouTube channel. So, we got two people that used to work for Nintendo for 10 years, and Mr. Yoshida, whatever, that he used to work for PlayStation Sony for 11 years. He was a guest on there and talked. And he said a lot of things, which a lot of Nintendo fans did not like or agree with. Basically, what Mr. Yoshida said, what PlayStation, what they think, because he's allowed to say whatever he wants now, and, PlayStation, Sony, they can't do anything to him. He said, basically, that, PlayStation doesn't take Nintendo or the Nintendo Switch seriously. They don't see them as competition, alright? The only place that they see Nintendo competition at is in Japan. Alright, because in Japan, really Nintendo is the only console that actually matters. Because Xbox basically doesn't even exist in Japan, sadly. And, PlayStation does pretty well in Japan, and Nintendo definitely gives them a run for their money there. But in North America or anywhere else, PlayStation doesn't see Nintendo or the Nintendo Switch 2 as any competition. They only see Xbox, which, that's fine. But the fact that you don't see Nintendo or the Switch 2 as any type of competition at all whatsoever, that's very bad for you. Alright, that's gonna come and bite you in the butt cheeks later. Alright? Listen to me. And Yoshida basically said that PlayStation, they still see Nintendo as just a child-friendly console, a family console, a console for kids, alright? And the thing that he said that really upset a lot of people is that Yoshida said that, and if, the Nintendo fans or whatever, the kids or whatever, if they don't want to graduate to PlayStation and start playing games there, basically, like that's their fault. The fact that you said that graduate to PlayStation, the kids, the children, whatever, from Nintendo, why do you guys still think that Nintendo is just a child-friendly, family-oriented console? Just that. It's not for adults. It's not for people that like violent games or bloody games or mature games or games that are, pointed for just adults. You think Nintendo isn't that? Bro, I'm gonna give you a little stack of games here, alright? Bayonetta 2, which comes with Bayonetta, alright? Rated M. This is 2 games technically, alright? Comes with the digital version of Bayonetta. Alright, hold on, because it get me mad. Alright, Zombie Army Trilogy, alright? Rated M. Trilogy, that's 3 more games. What's that, 5 games technically total? Okay? Bayonetta 3, rated M, alright? 6 games, okay? Mortal Kombat 11, rated M, alright? 7 games. Alright? Resident Evil. This trilogy, this right here, you see this? This triple pack? Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. That's 3 more games. What's that? 7, 8, 9, 10? Oh, what's this? Resident Evil Revelations Collection. 1 and 2. That's 2 more games. What's that, like 11 games? Alright, look, listen here. That's just like 11 games that I have on the Nintendo Switch. Mind you, there's so many more rated M games on the Nintendo Switch, it's ridiculous. Alright? There's a lot more. Okay, like a lot. Alright, what do they got? The Personas? The Metal Gears? Huh? What? There's the Witchers? The Dooms? Like, more Resident... Like, listen. PlayStation, Mr. Yoshida, you guys gotta stop sleeping on Nintendo, the Switches, because that's gonna be your downfall. Mind you, now the Nintendo Switch 2 has better graphics now. Alright, and it still can be taken handheld, and still looks beautiful handheld. Alright, the Switch 2 can run up to 4K, and up to 120 frames per second. You guys are still sleeping on that. Yes, it might not be still as powerful as the PlayStation 5 Pro, but that's still good enough to put games on there now, which have high graphics, and those third-party games that go to you guys can now come to the Switch too, which should scare you, because we already beat you in the first-party category, we beat you in the family games category, we beat you on the best, one-player, first-party category, and now we are getting all of those third-party games that you guys get as well. Okay? The Switch and Nintendo, they're just going to advance even more. Alright, whenever the Switch 3 comes out, which is probably a long ways from now, but PlayStation needs to dread that arrival of the Switch 3 or whatever the next console is going to be, because yes, slowly but surely Nintendo is understanding how this generation and the next generation of gamers are working. Alright? A lot of people and players, now they care mostly about graphics. Alright? A lot of mature games. Even the kids, sadly. But that's fine. Because Nintendo has already caught on. They are catching on. And they will catch on. And they will be on the same lane as you. Almost 100%. And when Nintendo gets on that same lane as PlayStation 6 or 7, they get on that same length. Alright, where we both companies, both consoles or whatever that console of that time, and they can handle the graphics of the same exact games, Nintendo will kill PlayStation. They will ruin you. Alright? They will take the lead. Alright? Like I said, Nintendo already has the better first-party games. They can now handle almost every single third-party high graphical game on the Switch 2 that you guys can handle. We can almost handle just about the same amount and can handle it just as well. Some better. Can you imagine when the Switch and Nintendo, or the Switch 2 or Switch 3, they handle the same exact graphics that you guys can handle, PlayStation? Your people are going to have to graduate to Nintendo. Still, even now, if people leave PlayStation and come to Nintendo Switch 2, that's graduating. PlayStation, you are not better than Nintendo. In the graphics specs, yes. We will give you that. I will give you that. Nintendo company isn't the best. They're not the best in graphics. They're not even the best at handling business. But they are a force to be reckoned with. And you guys should take heed and, be more mindful of what Nintendo can do and what they are doing and what will do. Alright? This Yoshida guy and PlayStation, they also have stated that, third-party games and other companies, the best place to play your games will be on the PlayStation. Blah, 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 blah. That's cool. Graphically, yes. I don't know if y'all talk about graphically or also financially or whatever, because financially, definitely not, because people buy games way more on Nintendo than they do on PlayStation. I mean, you could do the numbers, you could do whatever you want to do. Go look that up, go see what games are the highest and whatever. Oh, we got Grand Theft Auto 5 and 6. And Grand Theft Auto, that's not even a Sony game. That's not even y'all's. That's not PlayStation. That's not Sony. Y'all don't run that. What is that, Rockstar? It's not even your company. Alright, so when Grand Theft Auto 6 hopefully comes to the Switch 2, then what? Then what? All right? Maybe it won't be able to handle it, but maybe it will. Somebody also said that the Grand Theft Auto 6, that's going to be impossible for the Switch 2 can handle. Yeah, maybe not. But also, I think the same person that said that also said that The Witcher 3 would never, ever be able to run on the Nintendo Switch. It's impossible. Guess what? The Witcher 3 runs on the Nintendo Switch. Perfectly fine, may I say. With no issues. Graphically and performance. It runs very well. So, something that was supposed to be impossible is actually possible now. What do you think the Switch 2 and Nintendo are going to do with Grand Theft Auto 6? They're going to take the impossible and make it possible. Stop underestimating Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2. That's all I'm saying. Sony, PlayStation, Mr. Yoshida. That's all I want. You don't have to say Nintendo is better. You don't have to say that. Alright? Technically, PlayStation 2 is still in the lead as the #1 sold console in the world ever. You know, at 160 million. Which you guys found another 5 million out of nowhere. I don't know where you found these receipts at. But, whatever. I don't care. PlayStation 2 was awesome. I love the PlayStation 2. Alright? I had the PlayStation 2. Okay? I love PlayStation. But I don't like the underestimating of Nintendo and the Switch 2, and you guys not seeing Nintendo as competition and only seeing them still as a child-friendly console and just family-oriented. I showed you just a few games that are rated M. That's like 1% of the rated M games that Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2 have. Okay, do you hear what I'm telling you here? Nintendo is not just a family little children console anymore. You guys, PlayStation has to stop seeing them in that light. That is not what they are anymore. Okay, maybe they had that throne before back in the day and that's all they were meant for and whatever. It's not like that no more. Stop sleeping on them, stop underestimating them, and start seeing them as actual true competition. Because you underestimating them will be your downfall, PlayStation. It will be your downfall. Stop thinking you guys are untouchable, alright, unbreakable, unmovable, because you're not. You're not undefeatable. You guys are not. Nintendo could take you down instantly if they really wanted to. And that's just a true fact. You're lucky that they don't care about what you guys are doing and they just go on their own path and do what they want to do. Because they could really take you down if they wanted to. Alright? I don't agree with a lot of things that Nintendo has been doing lately with their new president and all of this and Doug Bowser, because he sucks. You know, they're doing a lot of weird things with the Switch 2, yes. A lot of weird business, yes. Making a few weird moves, yes. But if they tap into their actual true potential of them being gamer lovers, and if they really wanted to take you guys out or keep up with you guys like you think they should, they can. They just choose not to. Keep that in mind, PlayStation and Mr. Yoshida, Sony, all of y'all. Please keep that in mind. Stop sleeping on them. Nintendo is competition. And they can take you out very, very easily if they really wanted to. They just choose not to. I'm just saying. Alright, this is coming from someone that also loves PlayStation. I love PlayStation. But I don't like their attitude and everything towards Nintendo and how they think they're these high people on the food chain and these gods and they can't be touched and nobody can take them out and defeat them or match up to their power. Nintendo can, and they are, and they will, and they do. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I'll leave it at that. You guys, let me know how you feel about all of this, about the Yoshida thing, Sony, PlayStation, not seeing Nintendo as a competition or they're nothing to them and whatever. Put in the comments, talk to your boy, and let's chitty chat. But yeah, there you go, guys. Game Aim Plus, please like and subscribe and click that little bell button. That way every time I upload a new video, it'll pop up on your phone like, you feel me, dog? You feel me? But yeah, y'all have a great morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I'll catch you in the next one. Booyah! Woo!